Hello my dear students, welcome back to another session of computer application. So the previous class we were already discussed software objects and real world object, and also how can we create objects in a class. So different types of object creation and how it will be working properly in the entire programming that we already have seen. Okay. So today we are going to learn about how the programming will be moving with the help of software object, like the real world object, how we can convert its equivalent software object that we can see. So here software objects and classes with example. So the today's topic will be that only. So let me start the topic software objects and classes with example. So here I am going to explain how the real world object will be working, and the same real world object how we are going to convert its equivalent software object method, so that we can see. Okay, so here objects we already know, so anything we can consider is an object, so that will be it's a manual or real. Okay, so that we are exactly taking and converting to the computerized format. For while computerizing the real world object, we need some supporting things, that is called as variables or functions or whatsoever. To moving forward the program, we need some supporting thing, so that is called as variables or some programming relevant tools or keys or keywords or some kind of variables like we are using. Okay, so here the example will be employee. So we already know the employee. What is employee? Who is employee? Employee means who is working, that person is called as employee. So related employee, we are going to doing one program. So we are going to create a class and a related employee objects. So in the real world example we can consider. So one employee means what are the major things we can see the employee. So one employee means the one who is working somewhere else. So that is employee. So the employee, if you are considering an employee, this employee is having different category will be there. So category means it's a related tools or keys. Okay. So in this example, employee we can see. So the three options we are considering is a representation of employee. The first option will be name of employee, department of employee, and salary of employee. So name, we already know each and every employee or person is having the identification name will be there, that is called as name. So department means so employee. To considering an employee, the person will be working in a different post. Okay, so different post, maybe he is a teacher or lecturer or engineer or doctor or whatsoever. So the working post and where he is working, so that is called as a department. For example, in school or college, just the best example will be college only. So college means it's entirely different than the school. So different departments are said, that will be based on the subjects, it will be divided, like computer science department, economics department, physics department, or chemistry department. So the speciality of why they are categorizing department wise, because the particular subject will be handling number of teachers. That's why it is called as a department. So chemistry department means more than 3 teachers or more than 5 teachers will be there in a particular department. Okay, so 3-4 members will be handling one particular subject. So that's why department wise we are in first year or second year or third year or PG section or undergraduate or PU section. So different section wise it will be changed. So like that computer science more than one teachers will be handling computer science. So this all the teachers will be combining in a one under one department, that is called that's why it's called as a department. So in which department the employee is working, so that is we are considering. So that is another category or another representation of an employee. The major representation of an employee we already know, that is salary, basic salary. So the basic salary also we can consider as the major key of the given employee. Okay, so this is a real world example. Employee will be there, the employee name will be there. Each and every employee is having name and also the working department and also is having salary. So that is a different for each and every employee. So this is real world example. So how we are representing, so that is important. So in the real world object, always we are representing with the help of flow charts or organization charts or some kind of presenting tools we are using. That is a real world object. So here I just mentioned employee here and I used some flow lines, and with the help of flow lines, 3 lines I have mentioned and 1, 2, 3 like that I have mentioned. So easily I can understand employee is a common group, This employee is having subsection, it's called as name, department and salary. Okay, so this is a real world objects representation. Okay, so same real world object representation we are going to convert its equivalent software method. So that is software object. So always the previous class and many classes I already have explained, software object means it is completely closed to the software programming. So what programming language we are using, there we are writing what are the codes or relevant variables or what are the tools we are using in the particular programming, that is called as a software object. So different types of software objects we are using. So based on the program or problem or one manual system, the software number of objects and representation of variables will be changed. Then how it will be we can see. So based on the given example, how we can convert its equivalent software object we can see. So here employee will be there and also the representation of variables will be there. And here we can see, sir, when we are coming to here, the down we can see I mentioned another two tools. It is accept data and display data. So what do you mean by accept data and what is display data? So what is the major use of this two? So this two already explained because it is a representation of employee. So here this is a manual processing. So this accept data means once the employee will be started to work in the particular firm or organization, first they have to join it. Okay, if he joined, we can consider he is a or she is a new employee. So what is the procedure of admitting the new employee? They should register the name to the particular attendance register or somewhere else, or if it is a biometric, they have to store the names and their address or complete details. They have to keep it in a register or computerized any format. Okay, so inputting the employee detail through computerized method or any manual method. Okay, real world object means definitely we are going through the we are depending on the manual method only. That means one employee will be coming inside the firm or institution, they are giving the resume or biodata or something else, and if he or she appointed means their details we need to store somewhere else by manually. So the register will be there, employee register will be there. So there we are writing the employee name. So this employee, new employee, the name will be writing, which department we are writing, which is the basic salary we have fixed, that is we have to write it, which is the joining date and up to what time, whether permanent or temporary. So all the details we need to write and keep. So that means in computer science or computer field we are telling it's a inputting the data to the register. Okay, so this inputting data we are considering as accept data. That means accepting data from the user. So that is called as accepting data. So once we accept data from the user or once we accept data from the employee, that should be keep somewhere else. So sometimes after some days or sometimes we need to produce the appointment letter or something else, some salary certificate, something else we need to issue. Okay, issue to the employee or issue to somewhere else. So that the stored data or written data we need to get it back. So that should be displayed through printout or displayed through writing paper or writing a paper or somewhere else we are displaying it. For that also we are using some data fetching method which is called as a display data. That means in the object oriented programming, if you input data, once if you input data, definitely should be displayed. So inputting data to the computer or inputting data to the manually, and we have to, once if you input, should be displayed. Okay, so that is optional only, actually not must and should is displayed, that's all. So whenever we need to display the data, we can request it, they will display it. So that if you request, they are ready to display it. Okay, so that they have to accept data from the user, and whenever they need, they should be displayed. So that we are using accept data and display data. Okay, inputting data to the medium, that is where we need to store the data, should be inputted. Okay, so this is manual processing. So manual processing, how manually we are doing with the help of registers or pen, with the help of an employee, that is many efforts and energy, times, everything we are wasting. Okay, so that is a manual. So to reduce the time consuming process, we are depending on the software object concept. So here the same thing we are converting to the software technique method, that is called as a programming language or programming concept. Okay, so this is actually our problem. This problem we are going to find a solution, or we are going to process it. For processing, we are depending on any one programming language. So we already know here we are using the Java programming. So based on the Java programming, how the real world entity we are converting to the computerized format, we can see. So here the class. So the employee means it's a this what are the details we are given: name, department, salary, and also accept data and input data. Okay, so also display data. So this all will be in a combined in a one particular frame or group is called as a employee. So that we already know the class means that only. Class is a blueprint of different group of object. Okay, so here class employee we can consider as a class, and below the class we can see the number of objects. This all will be types of objects only. Okay, so in this example we can consider employee is a class. Okay, so below that what are the objects we are given? Maybe it is a variable or data members or functions, so whatsoever, what are the things we are giving, that is called as object. So that we should be classified which is class and which is objects. So here we can consider. Okay, so here employee we are considering as a class employee. Okay, so below that we are giving the different objects. That is, the first object will be name, the next will be department, then salary. So this name, department, salary is called as a data members. So about data members, previous class I already explained. So data members means, once again I'll give one brief explanation. So what are the variables we are using in the entire programming, that is called as a variables. So what is the use of variable? Variable means what are the things the user will be inputting to the computer that should be stored somewhere else. So directly it is not possible, that's why they are using the variable. So variable is simply just alphabets or word. It's a combination of alphabets or word. So based on the data it will be classified. For example, if it is a numerical value, we are telling it's a integer data type. If it is a character, means we are telling it's a character group. If it is a decimal fraction number, we are considering as a float data type. Okay, so based on this character group or data types group, the variable we are going to declare it. So how we are going to store the data? If you are entering the numerical value, it should be stored in an integer variable. Okay, so here integer variable will be there, the data should be goes to integer variable. If it is a character, means it should be goes to character variable. If it is a decimal fraction number, it will be goes to decimal number. If it is a data type, it is another format, it should be goes to the relevant variable. So through the variable only we are inputting and storing the data to the computer. So once if you store the data, or once if you input the data, only we can get it back. Otherwise the program will be not working. That means if you wanted to find a solution that in the given problem, we should be give the suggestion to process it. The suggestions means we are giving the idea how the program will be executing, or how the program will be implementing, or how the data source will be working. So that request or that ideas you should be give to the computer. Through the programming only we are giving. So here class employee is a class group, name, department, salary is called as a data members. Data members means don't get confused, it's a simple variable. Variable means for inputted data you need to store somewhere else, that should be goes to data members. So in the normal programming we are telling it's a variable. Okay, so normal structured or procedural oriented programming we are telling it's a variable. So when we are coming to the object oriented programming, that is based on the object and classes, so that we are telling it's a data members, the member of data. Okay, so the next we can see accept data and display data. So accept data and display data, to compare with the member function, data members, the representation will be little different. Okay, so here data members we are defined just one word we have given, the name, and put semicolon. And department, short forms I have used the semicolon. Then salary, semicolon. But the next third one will be, these two we are considering as a member functions. So the member functions will be represented by some other method. So here end of the word or variable we have used these two brackets. Okay, this two bracket is called as a function bracket. Function bracket. So if any word will be a function, how we are going to find out it? So the word with these two bracket will be we can consider that is a user defined or system defined function. Each and every function will be represented by these two brackets. Okay, so here accept data is a function and a display data is a function. That's why it is called as a member function. Why it is called as member function? Member function means the employee, member of a class employee, because the employee will be providing all those details. So here another explanation we can give. This data members. Data members means actually it is a behavior or characteristics. For showing the behavior or showing the characteristics, we need some representative things that is called as data members. With the help of this behavioral characteristics, we should show the action, how it will be working. Okay, this will be represented by the data member functions. The member function, it is called as activity of a class. Which activity we are providing, that is through member function only. Okay, so this member function means what action we are going to do, that is member function. For doing the action, what are the supportive variables or things we need, that is called as a data members. So all the type of object oriented programming, all the programming language or programs we are using, the first part of the program will be this only: class declaration, variable declaration and a member function declaration. So data member is a variable to store the inputted value. We are depending on data members. Okay, each and every class is having their own their own individual data members and functions will be based on the class, it will be changed, or based on the program it will be changed. So number of variables will be more or number of member functions will be more, that is depending upon the program. Okay, so here based on this program we are using only 3 data members, and with the help of these 3 data members we are using only 2 actions, that is inputting data and also processing data. So after inputting, data will be processed. Processed data we are getting through the display function. So accept data function and display function, it is called as a member functions. So this is called as a software object declaration. So this is a real world object declaration. This is called as a software object declaration. So here in this lesson, these are the major content. So more examples and more explanation will be there in the textbook, you can see, but the brief content will be this only. The same thing will be repeating more than once, I think. So actually the chapter will be end. This is the end of the chapter, and the next class onwards I'm just going to start the practical session. Means the next theory completely practical oriented or demonstration oriented only. So that some with the help of laptop I have make a video, that means how the Java will be installing in our system, and simple commands, and with one or two single line programs I will show it, because practical we are unable to do because all the students are not having computer is at home. So that who are using computer, they can use it, but while doing the programming definitely the doubt or mistakes will come. So that is you are unable to recover it. So if you contact me, definitely I help you, and better you have to wait up to the reopen the school. After reopen the school, continuously we can do the practical. So you just you can do one thing. What are the theoretical portions I have given with the help of computer? You just understand it and make a simple notes about that is. So the actual question and answers that will be I will give through the PDF format. But the theoretical part, the next class onwards, little difficult means that we cannot tell like that, but it is not like 16 or 15 or 16 classes we completed, that is completely theoretical based introductions about the programming or types of programming or basic concept of programming, that under completely theoretical part only. But here onwards we are starting the exact Java programming. So just cooperate with me, I hope. Okay, so after that we can do the practical little small programs we can start it, and you just understand it, just see and understand it, and 2-3 times you have to repeat and watch it, then you can easily understand. Then once the school open, as I said, no, after the reopen the school, we can continuous practical, that means even theory period also we can take it as a practical, and you can clear it everything. Okay, so the previous class and the same thing, 2-3 class continuously the same concept we are repeating, because that is only continuing in the particular lesson, very small lesson only. Any doubt you are having, you can contact me through WhatsApp, or then you can drop out the question also through the WhatsApp. So we can clarify it. And after the completion of the second chapter, so one part we pending, no, that is how we are going to install the Java and all. The next class I will give. After that, these two lessons portions, question and answers or essay questions, I will give it together. I will give it. Okay. So thank you, students. Have a great day.